Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something kind of different, and this video is more for me than necessarily the viewers themselves, but it also includes you as well. So, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Brent Duffy, for your $5 PayPal donation. I really appreciate that. I'd like to call out all the donators of the channel, but on to the main subject here. So I've always been a fan of esports since its beginning, really. I remember watching some live StarCraft in 2008 when StarCraft 1 was really popular in terms of esports. And I remember watching Flash and Jadong go at it and things like that. And that's really where I got started. And in about, I think it was 2011 or 2012, something like that, I remember starting to watch Husky StarCraft and HD StarCraft, Crota, all those great YouTubers. A couple of them have long since left YouTube, but their glory still remains, if you will. And I remember I'd watch them pretty much religiously every day. And then eventually I decided to start my own casting channel. And I've had this YouTube for a very long time, since 2006. And I started doing casts from Warcraft 3 to StarCraft 2, to Company Heroes 2, and Wargame Red Dragon. And I did that for quite a while before, you know, sort of transitioning my YouTube into a cryptocurrency YouTube. So I'm long since been a fan and have been a part of it for quite a while now. And so I was wondering what your opinions are on a few things. About an esports coin. So before we talk about that, I would like to show you guys just a few websites here that deal with esports and gaming in general. And one is Kinguin, and you go on here to buy discount games and key codes from Steam users. And they also have an ICO coming out soon for their own Kinguin cryptocurrency. Another great website is Opskins that sells various skins from CSGO to PUBG and H1Z1. And then we have First Blood here, which is a new cryptocurrency. And it basically runs tournaments for, you know, like 5 vs 5 Dota tournaments and things like that. And the rewards are essentially First Blood themselves. You know, the cryptocurrency, and that's basically all they do for now. I'm sure they have some kind of additional roadmap, but for the moment, that's all they do. So I was wondering, you know, what a true esports coin really is, and what your opinions are on that. So at the end of this video, put your opinions down in the comments on all the things that I'm going to talk about for this video. So there are several esports coins out there. A couple of them were known to be actual scams during their ICO, and then nothing ever happened, and they sort of just took the money and ran. And then there's a good number of them, maybe half a dozen or less, that are actual cryptocurrency esports coins. However, what I've noticed is that none of them have a particular purpose in the esports world. Now, mind you, there is First Blood here, and you see this is long since past its ICO, but really it just holds tournaments, and that's all said and good because I certainly love tournaments, but that's really all they appear to do at the moment. So my question is what does that have to do with esports necessarily? So sure, people win esports, and you know, it incentivizes amateurs to you know, to play these tournaments and things like that. It gives amateurs a, you know, a spot, you know, in the spotlight and things like that. So that's pretty good. However, if there was an esports coin, I have a few questions for you guys. What would you expect it to do, first of all? So what would you want the coin to do? What would you want it to be focused around? Another question is, what do you expect from a website? And I'll give you some of my own ideas. And then I would like you guys, of course, to comment down, you know, what just all of your opinions on this, whatever you think. And then also, what features would this esports coin do, and what features would be on this website? So my idea would be more of a all-encompassing esports website. So, for example, you could have a website that sort of encompasses all that you see here and more. So, for example, Opskins here is a great website that you can sell and buy various skins for Steam games, but that's all it does. So if you want it to do anything more than that, you're going to have to go somewhere else. And then there's Kinguin, which sells games at a nice discount, but that's pretty much, once again, all it does. And it takes you to CSGO skins, which is pretty much, I believe, the same website. No, it just sells skins as well. So this one's a little bit more encompassing than OpSkins. So a few ideas that I had for a esports website, and I don't even know if anything's going to come out of it. I would like to try and sort of work on it. Again, there's no guarantees of this or anything like that, but I'm just trying to get your guys' just the plain old people, just a whole mass of opinions, and see what people really think about this. So, one of the ideas there would be skins on the website that you could buy and sell, just like OpSkins. Another thing is that there would also be tournaments in the same way that sort of like First Blood is doing, where you would have amateurs being able to create their own tournaments, or we would create tournaments that amateurs would join and then compete for, a prize at the end. Another thing that I see a lot of esports websites missing is actual schedules for esports themselves. So you could have a list of games that would have a schedule on them for various esports tournaments. So, for example, StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 all have tournaments, but nobody knows when they're going to be. You have to specifically go to these websites to find them. And what about Dota tournaments, or what about League of Legends tournaments? When are those going to go on? And even PUBG, and maybe even Fortnite as well. So all these games, including more than I just mentioned, all have tournaments, but oftentimes they go missed by the public. So one encompassing website that would show all of those tournaments would be pretty ideal. So schedules as well. So tournaments for amateurs, and then schedules, as I said, for actual pro teams, for Dota and various other games like that. And another thing that I would like to see on the website as well is live streams. And of course they would be on Twitch, but there would be simply links to live streams. And these links would be from pros themselves. So you couldn't just put your link on the website, your link to Twitch, but there would be all the pros that are on the various teams, and those would be listed. So you could actually look up the teams or look up the specific games, and then they would show which pros are actually streaming that game at the time. Another thing could be potentially paid advertised streams. So I think, like, on a daily basis, maybe people could bet cryptocurrency or even bet money. Maybe just sort of like an auction system you would put down. If you put down, let's say, let's just, for example, $50 in cryptocurrency or something like that, and then you lost, you would get that cryptocurrency back. There would be no fee, like we wouldn't just take your crypto or something. But if you won for the day, you would be featured on the site, or maybe the top 10 bidders would be featured on the site that day, which would give a chance for amateur streamers to be put in the spotlight temporarily for maybe like a 24-hour period or something like that, which would be in a lot of people's interest, as Twitch is pretty saturated. And of course, being promoted, or a small paid advertisement could really pay off for a lot of people. Another thing I'd like to see on the website is an exchange of the cryptocurrency itself. So let's just call it Esports Coin for now. I know that's very, very generic, but again, just as an example, there would be an internal exchange on the website itself. So the coin could actually be listed on various other exchanges, possibly like Cryptopia at first, because they pretty much accept anything, and then various exchanges from there. And I understand that Cryptopia is not necessarily the best exchange, but it does list virtually every coin. They're pretty egalitarian in that regard. And of course, the website would have its own exchange as well. Something also that I thought would be pretty revolutionary would be an exchange for Steam skins as well. So, for example, you can go to OpSkins here, and just for example, you can buy this AK-47. But let's say you have one of these AK-47s, you can sell it on this site. Well, that's all good and that's great. But what if there was an exchange just like cryptocurrency, where they would list every game that we have on the website, and then it would list every item on that as well. You could type it in like a search bar, and you would get that item. And then you could essentially buy these items in bulk. For example, you could buy 10 of these AK-47s, and let's say the base price of them, the suggested price, the usual price is $8. Let's call it $8 even. So you buy 10 of them for $8 a piece, and then you go ahead and limit sell them or market sell them for a higher price or something like that. So those details would be a little hard to work out, but that would be pretty revolutionary. So if you had tons of one, let's say you have 10 of, you know, some really cheap item from PUBG. These are pretty expensive items that they're showing here on the front of the website because they're featured items. But some items in PUBG, for example, are only like 3 cents. So let's say you had 10 of one item. You could put it on the exchange and list 10 at once rather than selling them individually at once on the site, which would make things a lot faster, and it would turn it into a real exchange for the goods themselves. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. I wonder what your opinions on that is. And then there would, of course, be merch as well. So, you know, a lot of these sites here are actually missing one big thing, and that's merchandise. So, you know, you can't go on here onto these sites and buy, you know, like team jerseys, like team solo mid jerseys, or whatever people would want, you know, or stickers or banners or whatever from their favorite esports teams or favorite game or whatever. So on that site, on this theoretical site, you could actually buy physical merchandise as well and then get it shipped to you. So the crypto, the actual crypto itself would be available on the site. So for example, you could you know, you could pay $10 for an item, or you could pay a little bit of the crypto that we have on our site as well. So not only could you use, you know, other crypto and, you know, US dollars, but you could use the esports coin as well to buy the merchandise, the games, and you know, the all the goods as well, all the skins and stuff. So, you know, merch is something that's missing from a lot of sites that I see, like physical merchandise that you could ship to your home. Another thing that may be a good idea, it may be a bad idea as well. So again, this is why I'm asking you guys, you know, just spill your comments, spill your ideas and your thoughts on this in the comments, and you know, I'll take a look at them and see. But another idea would be game betting as well. So I know that betting is illegal in a lot of states in the United States. So I'm from the United States, and I'm not really particularly sure which states it's legal and which states it's not. But I think like New York State, it's like online gambling is illegal. So of course it would be limited to certain states and specific countries. Maybe a specific country might make it illegal. So we would have, you know, it would certainly be a legal thing. Like wherever it was illegal, you wouldn't be able to do it if you resided in that state or that country. But game betting would be an interesting thing as well. So, you know, let's say a game like a tournament is going to start in you know, 5 or 6 hours or 24 hours. You could start putting in your bets, just like a boxing match. So, you know, like let's say it's Dota 2, it's like team solo mid versus, you know, some other team. And you can put your money down, you can put your crypto down on one team, and if they win that match, you know, then it gets, you get paid out, you know, like a 3-to-1 odd or something like that. It'd be, again, a little hard to work out, but I think that would be kind of interesting too. It would be kind of a fun aspect. You know, I would hope that like, nobody goes too crazy with it, of course, and you just put in, you know, $10 or something like that, and maybe you win, maybe you double your money or something like that in crypto. But that would be a pretty interesting feature as well. So the idea would be an esports website that it encompasses all of esports, and not just these single websites that deal in one or two things each. So if you go to OpSkins here, sure, you can buy skins, but where is the merchandise? You can't buy merchandise on here. You can't find tournaments, you can't find schedules, you can't find live streams or an exchange of the token on the site. None of that is available, so you have to go somewhere else and somewhere else. So I was thinking, you know, an esports website that would, you know, encompass everything, and of course more. So, you know, there would be maybe some kind of ICO for the coin, you know, and it would be a scaling ICO probably, you know, start off at 10 cents, and then, you know, halfway through the ICO, maybe it's 30 cents a coin, and then, you know, towards the end of the ICO, it's 50 cents. And with the money that the ICO would make, of course, then the development of the website and everything could begin with the funds that were received from it. So I thought it was kind of a cool idea, and just wondered what you guys think. But I've got another video to make right after this one. I'm going to talk about some stuff, but just wanted to get your guys' opinions on all that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and feel free to put everything down, all your thoughts and stuff. Even if it's a terrible idea, write it down. Who cares? But as usual, I'll see you guys next time.